Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! This story is from roughly 2013. I was an adjuster for Lizard Insurance and will go to many tow lots after a car accident and decide if a car was a total loss or send it to a body shop, as well as do the initial write-up of an estimate on repair costs. The tow lot I was at this day also worked with the state police and housed their overflow storage for anything deemed evidence and on hold from release. These vehicles were kept behind a locked gate inside the already fenced gate tow yard. I was there to do an appraisal on two vehicles that had been involved in a minor accident. However, both were left unable to drive from the scene due to either multiple flats, lights knocked out, or windows busted. I've finished the first vehicle and I've started taking photos of the second vehicle. I have headphones in and I'm listening to the album Cavalcade by the Flatliners. Seriously, check them out. Anyways, I see a woman, I'll guess around 50, walk up to the police evidence lot and the gate swings open out of the corner of my eye. Not paying much attention as the vehicles I was working with were on the same side of the lot, but about 50 meters down from the evidence lot. As my back is turned to this woman I will from here on refer to as Karen, I take the last couple of photos I need. The last being a photograph of the VIN of the vehicle, which is located where the windshield meets the hood, almost on the dash through the windscreen. Hope this makes sense. Karen, out of literally nowhere, grabs both cables to my headphones from behind and rips them out of my ear. "Excuse me, why are these two cars in front of mine, so I cannot get it out?" This lot would stack cars in 4 or 5 deep side by side and move them around with a small truck to release them. I say, please do not touch me, and I don't think you should be in here. And I don't work. You shouldn't be listening to music on the job anyway, or slacking off taking pictures of other people's belongings. You're probably back here stealing. I attempt to point at the Lizard Insurance logo on my blue jacket, but Karen continues on. "Are you going to do your job or do I need to call the police because you're refusing to give me my property? Have you gone into the office at APC Towing? No, I saw you here and you need to move these cars so I can get mine and leave." As Karen opens the door and gets into the first car and no one's blocking her. Hey, no, you can't go in there, that is police evidence. I use my cell phone to call APC Towing and inform them. "If you won't move these cars, then I will. Where are the keys?" "In the office with the employees." At this time, the manager comes running out with one of those weird smartphones, Nextel-style phones in his hand. He tells her, "Hey lady, get the hell out of there. Those cars are property of the state police." The manager frantically uses his Nextel to talk to someone. He sees the chain used to keep the lock closed has been cut with bolt cutters, y'all. Karen was carrying a pair of bolt cutters and had thrown them into her car when she was back at it. The manager and Karen argue back and forth, and I intently listen and have pay attention as I finish my duties for work. About 8 to 10 minutes pass and 7 police cars come flying back into the lot. The manager greets the police and explains what is going on, but not after Karen attempts to scream at the police that I had stolen her car. The police tell Karen to stand over in a direction he points, sending one officer to wait with her, and turns out the lieutenant was on scene who was in charge of the county's police tow licenses. After getting the manager's story, the lieutenant comes to me and takes mine. While I'm informing him of what happened, Karen overhears and starts yelling and attempting to approach me. The officer standing with her grabbed her by the arm. Karen yanked that arm out of the female officer's hand and shoved her, surprisingly knocking the officer down. Karen is screaming incoherently as she charges toward me. The lieutenant steps in front of me and, with his taser, hits Karen with the most beautiful sound in the world. Karen goes limp and faces plants in the dirt / light gravel of the lot and skids slightly. They immediately handcuff her. Turns out Karen had walked onto the lot carrying the pulled cutters while I was in the office talking with staff about the two cars I needed to adjust. She had been roaming the lot until she saw me and I happened to be near her car. Karen was charged with burglary, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, assault on a police officer, assault on me, trespassing, and resisting arrest. I know Karen did jail time, but I'm not sure how much. Years later, the tow company I now own impounded her car for being double parked. She remembered who I was and quietly paid. A few years ago now, I was a police officer here in good old England. I moved from a team dealing with action-packed 999 calls, speeding around in old Ford Focus, and dealing with interesting things to working in a team that supported a large shopping complex. Shoplifting, anti-social behavior, real hard-hitting stuff. The uniform was a white shirt, black tie, and if I was out and about, a step vest over the top, with one of the big pointy hats too. If I was on a prig though, I'd just put my normal jacket on to cover my shoulder numbers. This was mainly for my personal security, so to a casual observer I was just a bloke in a white shirt with a black tie. Cue the moment. I'd just finished dealing with the paperwork from a shoplifting and had a hankering for a sandwich. I locked my vest and hat away, but I left my belt of tools, can of spray, cuffs and metal stick. England again. I left these things on. I popped a plain black jacket over the top and ventured into the shopping complex in search of a foot-long sandwich specified and acquired. I paid the well-known outlet and ambled to a seating area to mind my own business and chow down. Probably no less than 5 minutes later, I clock a woman, the usual type, attempting to buy a sandwich. Now, from her big arm gestures, I skillfully deduced she wasn't happy. That's not a crime, so back to my sandwich I went. Until, of course, the voices became raised and a hand was slammed on the counter. I tucked the remnants of my sandwich in the bin and ambled over to see what the commotion was. Now working in a team I did, I was a known face in the center, and I enjoyed the long sandwich. So the staff knew me and my job, so they relaxed a little, which really irritated the woman. I quickly realized they didn't have the filling she wanted and she was refusing to take no for an answer. I ask, "Is everything alright here?" The woman turns and eyes me over. Now, I'm in my early 20s at the time, so she makes me for a security guard. "Oh, come on, I don't need security. This little jerk won't make my sandwich." Okay, firstly, you need to stop swearing. Secondly, I'm a level up from security. She didn't like this. "Oh, get lost. I just want my sandwich." She ignores me and goes back to banging her hand on the desk and gesturing wildly at the team behind the counter. "You need to stop that." She rounds on me again. "I said piss off. I know the management here, so get back to standing around outside Debenhams or I'll get you sacked." "I don't care. I'm warning you that you need to stop swearing. It's a public order offense." "Or what? I just want my sandwich, not some jumped up plastic policeman interfering. Get lost." "Stop swearing. You're causing a scene and stop hitting that counter or you will be arrested." "Don't tell me what to do. You're just a wannabe cop. You can't arrest me. Give me your boss now too." She was slamming her palms on the sneeze guard with each word, and I think I've been patient enough at that point, so I unzipped my jacket to reveal I am in fact a uniformed police constable. Her eyes widen as she sees the cuffs on my belt. "Nope. I'm arresting you under Section 5 of the Public Order Act. The arrest is necessary to prevent injury to others and damage to property. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defense, and so on." Now, I had no intention of cuffing her. I was already twice her size, so not necessary. Instead, I steered her, spluttering, to a table and sat her down as I called for a car to pick us up. After another 30 minutes of her refusing to believe she's done anything wrong, I eventually gave her a penalty notice to dispose of the matter. So her non-sandwich swear fest ended up costing her £80 instead. From time to time, I usually have to put up with a Karen every now and then with my work, but nothing ever worth talking about or posting. Being the Euro pandemic, when things were sort of getting back to normal at the beginning of the summer with retail stores, and just to let everyone know, I'm a female, 36, and in really great shape and a cyclist. I was out on mountain biking with some friends on a wonderful late afternoon. Good workout also. Started to head home and stopped at a Walmart to pick up a few things to make dinner for my daughter and me. Then I happened to see my best friend with her child. We greeted each other and I have always been like an aunt to her child. He was turning 4 years old and she was buying him a bicycle for his birthday. This is right up my alley and I said great, let Auntie K help you out with it. Both were happy with it. We found a good 16-inch wheel starter bike, looked at helmets, and I even fitted the helmet to him. My best friend and I were chatting a bit, and the child was looking at other toys, and this is where I get the ahem. I turned, and I saw the Karen in all of her glory, and yes, every bit of the Karen looked with her child. I said I'm sorry if I'm in your way of the shelves. Then, in not so nice of a tone, the crazy Karen says, "Now that you are done with her, you can help me with my child and bike for him." Sorry ma'am, I don't work here. I was just helping my friend with her son. Yes you do. You are wearing cycling clothes. Well, I just got finished with a ride about an hour ago, and here to pick things up. And I saw my friend and I'm just helping her. I'm sure one of the employees will be glad to help you. I really do not work here. My friend tells her, "She doesn't work here, lady." You need to butt out and shut up. I wasn't talking to you. Oh my god, let's go and get away from this crazy lady. What? How dare you call me that? I will have you fired. Me, trying to stay calm, I repeated, I don't work here. My friends always say that I'm really scared when I'm mad. Being a tall woman, 5'10" and fat, I'm not a small woman. We tried to walk away and the crazy Karen grabbed my arm. I pull out of her grip and tell her, "If you touch me again, I will have you arrested." I try to walk away again and she grabs my cycling jersey. "You are going to help me and I'm going to report you to your manager also." Let go of my jersey, you jerk. Then a Walmart manager comes around the corner and Karen screams at him, "You need to fire your employee for not helping me." Ma'am, she doesn't work here. And you need to let her go before I have you escorted out of the door. How dare you treat paying customers this way? I pull my jersey from her grip and she tries to slap me. I grabbed her wrist in mid-flight and said, "You have now done it, lady," and twisted her arm behind her. Karen is now yelling assault and screaming about how bad I'm hurting her arm as I pull up behind her back. I do have a lot of fighting training, judo and some MMA. My friend is recording it all on her phone and trying to calm her kid at the same time. I say to the manager, "Call the sheriff department right now. I'm having her arrested." "Let me go! I will sue you all! You are all going to jail!" I don't think so. I wrenched her arm up harder. Her kid crying and escorted her up to the front of the store as we waited for someone from the sheriff's department. 2 deputy sheriffs walk in, and I knew them both from having to use the sheriff's department a lot in my line of work. I let go and the crazy Karen screams, "Arrest her now for assaulting me!" "Ma'am, you need to calm down right now." "No, she assaulted me." Me, my friend and the manager just stood there and waited for the deputies to handle everything and answer anything that was asked to us. "Kay, what is going on here?" the other deputy asks me. "You know this witch? Arrest her." "You need to be quiet or I'm going to arrest you." I was feeling really bad for her child. He was crying as another Walmart employee tried to keep him calm. Karen kept screaming and then they cuffed her as I, the manager and my friend talked to the other deputy about what happened. I didn't want to press charges because I didn't want to spend time in court with it all. I spent enough time in court with my line of work. She was banned from that Walmart. The manager apologized for everything and gave my friend and me $50 gift card. I handed mine to my friend, which paid for the bike and helmet. I never got my items to make dinner as I called my daughter and told her that we were ordering out. I thought that would be the end of this and would never see that woman again. But I was wrong. Add to the cast, the office manager. 2 weeks go by and I'm in my office at work and I told everyone in the office about what happened at this Walmart. By the way, I own a home rental business, family owned. I spent my whole life in this business and took over when my parents retired. Nice sized business with 40 employees from office to maintenance. This one fine day, one of my office employees came back to the office with this couple. I was in my office with the door shut, but my employee introduced them to my office manager / CEO, and they were going to file and sign final paperwork on a home rental. My CEO buzzes me and asked if I could come out to meet the new renters and introduce myself to them. As I walked up front, the look of shock hit my face and couldn't believe it. It was a crazy Karen. Karen sees me. "You! Don't tell me you work here." "Yes, I do work here," I said calmly. "Who is your manager? I'm going to have you fired." I see her husband, this poor guy, now turning red from embarrassment and then saying and pointing to the office manager, "She is a manager. Talk to her." Karen now yelling at my office manager, "You should fire this worthless witch." "Well, I can't fire her. Only the owner of the company can fire her." "I want to speak to the owner then." The office manager points at me and says, "She is the owner." I say, "Yes, you are in my place of business. I'm not going to rent a house to you, and I'm asking you to leave right now, and never to come back before I call the sheriff department on you." She leaves in a big hurry with her husband in tow. My sales employee was laughing about it and then joked, "I guess I don't get my rental bonus on my next check." I laughed and said I will pay you the bonus after having to deal with her, and he was happy about it. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.